Hello everyone, this is a solution of paper 4 IGCSE May and June 2020. Let me start and follow me to see all steps of the answer. Question number 1, divide $24 in a ratio 7:5. I have two amounts. I want to divide two amounts ratio 7:5. The sum equals 12. So the first one will take 7/12 of the value, and the other one will take 5/12 of the value. So 7/12 times 24, this is the first one, and 5/12 of 24, this is the share of the second one. Divide by 2, divide by 12, 1 divided by 12 is 2, it's 14. The first one will take 14, the other one will take 10. So the share is 14 and 10. Write $24 as a fraction of 2,870. Give your answer in the lowest term. Just write by calculator 24.6 over or divide by 2870. You will get a fraction 3/350. This is the answer. Only divide by calculator. Number 3, write 1.92 as a percentage of this one. The first number 1.92 divided by 1.6 times 100. Gives you a percentage. The answer is 120%. Number 3, 120% here. The value is here, the fraction 3/350, and already in the simplest form. In a sale, the original prices are reduced by 15%. Calculate the sale price of a book that has an original price is $12. Just calculate the reduce the price or the discount of the price is 15% times 12 gives you 1.8, and then sale price will be the original price 12 minus 1.8 gives you $10.2, the sale price or the new price. Calculate the original price of the jacket that has a sale price of 38.25. This sale price 38.25, we get it by getting at discount 15%. Okay, so the 15% is subtracted from the original percentage, 100%. Of the original price, X gives you 38.25. This is equation, that's simple. 100 minus 15 is 85, so you have 0.85x. X is the original price of the jacket, okay? 0.85x is equal to 38.25. By dividing each side by 0.85, you will get the original price of the jacket. It was $45. Number C, Dean invests 500 for 10 years at a rate of 1.7 per year. Sample interest, calculate the total interest earned during the 10 years. The sample interest I is equal to PRT. P is the principal, is 500 times the ratio 1.7/100 times the time 10 years. Just multiply this by this. You'll get 5 times 17 is 85. Okay, number 2, Oli invested $200 at a rate of 0.0035 per day. Be careful, per day. Compound interest. Calculate the value of the Oli's investment at the end of 1 year. The compound interest formula is a final amount A is a principal into 1 plus R/100, or power n, a number of years, or power t. The final amount A is a principal 200, the input money into 1 plus. The ratio here is 0.0035/100, okay? Power number of years must be, because this percentage per day, you have to raise to the number of days, not years. The 1 year given for you 365 days. Only calculate this expression by a calculator, you will get 202.6, about something like that. Edna invests $500 at a rate of R% per year compound interest. At the end of 6 years, the value of the Edna's investment is 559.78. Find the value of R. Just use a compound formula, as you know. The input money 500, okay, into 1 plus R%. I don't know, no problem. R% to the power of, this is R% per year. Usually the percentage is per year. The number of years is 6, gives you 559.78. So divide each side by 500. You will get 1 plus R% power 6 is equal to, this value is, you can use a calculator to solve it. Now 559.78 divided by 500, I get 1.11956. Okay, so the 1 plus R% by taking the I just raised to, but I just take the positive 6 root for each side to remove the power 6. So 1 plus R% now is 1 plus R% is equal to the 6th root of this value. So I just multiply or calculate the 6th root of the value I get here, 1.11956. I get 1.01, this point here, 1.01900. By subtracting 1 from each side, you will get R% is equal to 0.019. Multiplying by 100 to get R is equal to 1.9%. So this is the ratio. The interest rate is 1.9%. Okay. Question number 2 about vectors. I have 2 vectors in the coordinate plane 2D. P is 4 and 5, Q is -2 and 7. Find the 2P plus Q. Just multiply the vector P by 2. Yeah, I mean double the P, double 4 and 5, plus the vector Q -2 and 7. Just using algebra to solve this. You have 8 and 10 plus the vector -2 and 7. 8 plus -2 is 6, and 10 plus 7, 17. Thank you, that's it. The magnitude of vector P is the square root of its component square by applying Pythagorean theorem. The magnitude of P, sometimes you write just double lines like this. The magnitude of P is simply 4 squared, square root of 4 squared plus 5 squared, which is square root of 16 plus 25 is square root of 41. Square root of 41 is 6 point something, maybe 6.4. You go round to one decimal place. Or A is a point to find the coordinate of B. The vector A and B, it means the position vector of B minus position vector of A. This is a vector AB. So the OB, I don't know, the OB, this is really the vector AB. The OB vector, I don't know, no problem, just write it minus the position vector of A. Simply take the point A, just write it as a column vector, 4 and 1. This is a position vector of point A. Is equal to AB. The AB is given before. Yeah, the AB is this one, -3 and 1. -3 and 1. Okay. So by moving the vector 4 and 1 the other side by inverse inverse or opposite sign, the vector OB is simply -3 and 1 plus 4 and 1. Gives you 1 and 2. If the position vector of point B is 1 and 2, so the coordinate of the point B itself is 1 and 2 also. Yeah. The line y equals 3x minus 2 crosses the y-axis at G. Write down the coordinate of G, simply 0, -2. The constant term in any polynomial is a y-intercept. If you don't know, just put x equals 0 in the equation, you will get the y-intercept. Y equals 0 minus 2 is equal to -2. Thank you, that's it. Very easy, very simple. I have now a question on vectors. Also the same question D. I have a triangle, the ratio between OT, the OT is 2 TD. It means the OT is 2 parts and TD is 1 part. Okay, M is midpoint of the ratio 1 to 1 of TC. I have this vector OC named C and this vector OD named small d. Find the position vector of M. Position vector of M means OM, as you know. To draw OM, I don't know, I have this line here. I can take it here and show it to you. This vector, and just to take a copy of this one to show you how to find the position vector of point M. The OM is not drawn, you have to draw. Okay. You will draw the position vector of point M like this. This is OM now. So any vector required, or you are calculating just to draw this vector. Okay. This is a vector I want to calculate. This vector OM. As you see, the vector OM now is equal to what? The vector OM, and consider this triangle to understand. Consider this triangle. Okay. You can use this triangle OCM or the upper triangle OMT, I mean, to find in the triangle OCM, the vector OM from the addition rule is OC plus CM. Yes, OC plus CM gives you the vector OM. So OC is already C. I want to find CM now. To find CM vector is half CT vector. Yes, CM is half CT. And the CT is, when you move from C to point T, the same as CO plus OT. Half CO, which is negative C, plus OT. OT, as you see here, is 2 parts out of 3 of the vector D. 2 parts out of 3 parts of the vector D. So the CM, as you see now, is negative half C plus 2, half times 2/3 is 1/3, 1/3 D. This is the vector CM. Now calculate. So the OM now is OC. OC is C plus CM we calculated now, negative half C plus 1/3 D. The C is 2/2C plus negative half C plus 1/3 D, 2/2 plus, or 1 minus half is half C plus 1/3 D. This answer. So the vector OM, or position vector of the point M, is half C plus 1/3 D. Very easy and very simple. Come now to question number 3 about the speed in V kilometer per hour of each of the 200 cars passing a building is measured in the table below. This one. Calculate the estimate of the mean. To calculate the mean, as you know, you just find the representative of each class, which is the midpoint. X here is the midpoint of each class. Midpoint of each class. So the midpoint 0 to 20 is 10, and then 30. Midpoint of each class. Just add the lower bound and upper bound of the class, and then divide by 2. You get the average of the lower and upper bound of each class. You will get 42.5, 47.5. 50 plus 60/2 is 55. 60, 80, the midpoint is 70. So the mean X bar for these 200 cars is simply just multiply each frequency by each X. You understand? Yeah. So 160 plus 30 times 34 plus all classes, just use it in the calculator until the last class, which is frequency 4 times the midpoint of it, 70. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 products up divided by 200, the number of cars, you will get 41.4. I used here the formula for estimation of the mean. Summation of each midpoint of the class times its frequency over the summation of F, or the number of the observations. Use the frequency table to complete the cumulative frequency table here. The cumulative frequency table just get it by adding 16 plus 34 is equal to 49 given here. Sorry, 50. Just to add the first three numbers, you will get less than 45 is 112. Okay. And after that, because you have this frequency is high, add the first four frequencies to get the cumulative of the first four sets. You get 170, and already is completed for you. On the grid, draw a cumulative frequency diagram. To draw the cumulative frequency diagram, you just plot the upper bound of each class with its cumulative frequency. The upper bound of the frequency, upper bound of the cumulative frequency, like this. So you will, this is a question here. No, you'll this is the second part. You will solve the frequency. Let me show you this part. Yeah, this one you will calculate the only just to plot the points. Okay, just to plot the points on the Cartesian plane represent the community frequency, and this one here. The points you have is 20 and 16, 20 and 16, almost here, this point. After that, 40 and 50, 40 and 50, here, midpoint. And after that, 45, 112, 45, 112, almost here. 112, just 3 millimeters above 100, something here. 50, 170, 50 and 170 here. Where is the 170? 170 is the midpoint of between 160 and 180, something here. 60, 196, 196 above 190. Only 2 squares before the end. Because each square here represents 4, each millimeter represents 4 units, or 4 numbers of frequencies. So less than 80 and 80 and 200, 80 and 200, and just to draw a smooth curve joining the 6 points you plot. Okay, you just draw like this. I try to draw a smooth curve, something like that, and you can continue drawing from the origin point because the speed is 0 for nothing, no cars, no speed. Now, from the cumulative frequency curve, you can calculate the upper quartile and lower quartile. The number n, as you see, is 200 cars. The is 1/4 of 200, which is 50th value. So the 50th value is almost here. You just draw by ruler a line here and draw. It's a 40. Q1 is equal to 40, as you see. I mean the upper quartile. So the upper quartile, the Q3 order here, 3/4 of 200 gives you the 1/50th value. The 1/50th value exists here, midpoint between 140 and 160, and this point is almost don't know here. That's yeah, just 2 millimeter, 1 millimeter before 50. It's about 48. You can say 46. You can say no problem. So Q3 is about 46. Okay, or 48. The number of cars with a speed greater than 35 kilometer per hour. 35 kilometer per hour, just to take this is 35 kilometer per hour, this point, just to go to the curve and calculate this frequency, this one. This one is 12 plus 20 equals 32. So this number is 32. I want more or less. The number of cars with a speed greater than this all number from 32 to 200. So it's a 200 minus 32. 200 minus 32. 200 minus 32 gives you 170 or 170 or 170, 168, something like that. In the market scheme, I think it's 160. Maybe the curve is just moving 35 kilometers. It's coming at 40. 35 is a midpoint. Maybe at 40. Of course, you can just take an approximate value of this part. Continue on the paper now for number 3. The two cars, 2 of the 200 cars are chosen at random. Find the probability that both have a speed greater than 50. The speed greater than 50 now, as we said, greater than 50, you can see it in the table here. Greater than 50 here, this point, you can use a ruler and find the exact value. Of course, using a ruler is better here. Greater than 50, you have to know the number of this one. Greater than 50 already given in the table. Greater than 50, this point is what? This point is, you can find it. Greater than 50 from the table, it's better. 50 and what? 170, yeah. This point is 170. This point is 170, okay? So from 170 to 200, this is 30. So the greater than 50 kilometers, the number is 30. The first car is, it's a probability 30 out of 200. The second car will be 29 out of 199. And you can calculate the right answer. Okay. Here you want to summarize the table in 3 sets only, or 3 classes instead of 6. He gathered each 2 classes together. If you want to draw a histogram, you just find class widths. Just add to your table class widths here and frequency density down. The class width is the difference. 40 and minus 0 is 40. 50 minus 40 is 10, and 80 minus 50 is 30. And then for frequency density, you just divide the frequency by class widths. So 50 divided by 40 is about 1.25. 120 divided by 10 is 12. Yes. And 30 divided by 30 is 1. These numbers, 1.25, 12, and 1, is the highest of each bar in the frequency in the histogram, this histogram. Just I show it to you in this one. Just I come back to this part. Sorry. Here, this one. So as I told you, the frequency density here is 1.25, 12, and 1. From 0 to 40, here the height is when I have here 10 millimeter represent 5. So each millimeter now represent, or each 2 millimeter represent 1. So I have this one. I want to calculate 1 1/4. So just in the middle of the 30 millimeter middle, this part, you can use a calculator. Sorry, I just to show you quickly. You can use a calculator to get a neat drawing. Okay, the second set from 40 to 50 is 120. The cumulative frequency or frequency density is 12. Just to go to the 12. The 12 here is how can I get the 12? As I told you, each 2 millimeter represent 1. So this is 11. This is 12. This is 13. This is 14, and this is 13. Okay. This is 12. Where is the 12 here? At this point. So you just draw from this is a second bar. Okay, you can continue drawing. Okay. From 50 to 80, last from 50 to 80, frequency one, the one as I told you is only 2 millimeters. So this is the frequency by drawing the frequency density or histogram. After that, I have a question on this part. No, I have a new question number 4. Question number 4, you can just using sine and cosine rule to solve some a triangle to find some angles and some sides. Okay. In this diagram, calculate QR. QR is the side in a triangle given side angle side. You can use cosine rule. So QR squared, I just give you the rule and you can continue solving. QR squared is 120 squared plus 150 squared minus 2 into 120 into 150 cosine the included angle 25. So this value is about 4,272.92, and this QR squared. The QR itself is square root of this value, 4,272.92, gives you about 65.4. Okay. Calculate RS. As you see, RS here is the side of the upper triangle. This triangle has two angles and 150 one side. The angle S now is 180 minus the sum of 45 and 55 is 180. So the angle S is 80. So you can use simply cosine rule to solve this part. So sorry, sine rule. So you can say SR over sine of the opposite angle, sine 55, is equal to other side, like 150. I have only one side, 150 meters over sine 80. By making SR subject in this equation, you will find that 124, the SR is 124.8, or simply 125 if you want to 3 significant figures. Okay, calculate the total area of the two triangles. You have the figure, as you see, consists of two triangles. So by applying the rule of the area or surface area of this half AB sine C. So half you have already this side to get this side. Now it's 124.5. The RS 0.8. So this triangle number 1, the area is half into 124.8 times 150 times sine 45, plus the area of the other triangle, the triangle number 2 here. You have already two sides and include the angle given already from the beginning. So half into 150 into 120 sine the included angle 25. Just add these two amounts, you'll get the total surface area of this figure. It's about 10,240.4. Okay. Simply you can write 10,004, 10,400, 10,400. Sorry, 100. Sorry, not this one. 10,420. Okay, 10,420.4. This is the total surface area of the figure. Last question, number 5. I want to talk about it. This figure now, find the bearing of D from, you can read the question. C is east of B, and the bearing of D from B, just write the word, the letter N at the end, and read the angle DBN. Or is it DBN? The word N here means that the north of the last letter B. I mean, just to draw, of course, the line. Draw the line like this. And after that, draw the north direction from B to find the bearing. Consider this is the north direction, something like that. Okay. Now find the bearing of D from B. As I told you, write N, the north direction, in the end of the sentence, and read the angle DBN. DBN. This is angle. This is the bearing, theta. So the bearing of D from B, this angle theta. To find theta, this is right angle. You can find this alpha, for example. The alpha in the triangle BCD. In triangle BCD, the alpha is 10 inverse of 450 over 350. Okay. The answer is 52.13. So the theta is 90 minus 52.13. The two angles are complementary. The answer is 37.8, about something like that. Okay, it's a very easy question. And the next part is B. Calculate the distance from D to A. D to A, yeah, I can find this distance. How can I find this distance? Already I have this side. Look at this one. The AD, I can find the distance from this triangle. The BD, I can find it from Pythagorean theorem by in this triangle. Okay. Every one of you find BD, please. BD is the square root of 450 squared plus 350 squared. Gives you about 570. Okay. Theta we calculated now. I found it. I found it 37.8. Okay. This is 37.8. And this angle I can find it by this is really a parallel line. So you can find these two angles, the 140 and this angle are supplementary angles. Their sum is 180. These two angles together. So this is 40. Now in this triangle, I have, look, I have two sides and include the angle, 40 plus 37. Yes? Yes. So in the triangle I have here, I can draw another, this one. I have this side is 570, as I told you, and this angle, the sum of two angles is about 71.8. 77, sorry, 77.8. You can find ED now by using cosine rule, by writing 400 squared plus 570 squared, okay, minus 2 into 400 times 570, cosine the included angle, 77.8 degrees. So by finding the square root of the resulted amount, you get the AD is 623.4. This is the length. Finally, C, in part number C, if you look at this one, Jono runs around the field from A to B and B to C and C to D and D to A. He runs at the speed of 3 meters per second. Calculate the total time Tono takes to run the you know the time, the speed equal distance over time. So if you want to make a time a subject, you have to divide the distance over speed. So you calculate each distance. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. The size of these amounts, you already get them. This distance is in meters. This is 623.4. This is given, this is given. So you will To find the time, he runs in a constant speed, runs at the speed of 3 meters per second. So the time is the total distance over the speed. So the time now is the total distance, or you just add all total distance here, 400 plus 350 plus 450 plus 623.4, which we get over 3. You will get, let's move this one just for a little bit. Okay. You will get the time is 607.8 second. And you can convert it simply to 2 minutes, divide by 60 to make it minutes. I found 10 minutes and 8 seconds, approximately 8 seconds. It is about 7 point something. Okay. Thank you so much. This is a solution of the first 5 questions of this exam. Thank you so much for following me, and see you next time. Goodbye.